Hey everyone, we are finishing up March. Yes, third month, March 27th. Just a few more days. So congratulations on that. This is Wendy Pope. It's Read Through the Word. I'm happy to be with you today. And this is a great follow-up from maybe it was the 25th, I believe it was, a few days ago, where we studied and talked about rest and what that meant, and that you still had to go in and fight for your possessions. Let me see. Let me just look back really quick. Yeah, it was the 25th. So if you didn't get to see the 25th, I encourage you to go back and read that. You don't have to have seen that to do today's lesson, so you don't need to press pause to go look at that one. They're not piggybacks, or they're not part one and part twos, but they do marry well together. So I encourage you to go back and look at that lesson if you haven't. But they had come into the land. Joshua had led them into the land. It's all theirs. The whole land's conquered. But each individual tribe, and they worked together, had to go in and take their territory that was allotted to them, the boundaries that were drawn for them. They had to go in and get them. And we talked about once you get to that place, you still have to, once your salvation is secured, the whole of the land is secured, their whole of their land is secured, you still have to go in and work for some of those things. And that's where we are right now, is these individuals are going in to claim their land that has been promised to them. Victory has been declared. The boundary lines have been drawn. All they have to do is go get it. But we see words like could not, did not, unable. And it says clearly back in Numbers. Wish I could remember what reference it was. I want to say it was in chapter 26, verse 33, but I don't claim it. Don't hold me to that. But Moses said, under the Lord's guidance, if you don't go in and take this land and conquer it completely, and that means wipe out everything. I don't understand war. I'm just telling you. I didn't write the book. I'm just telling you what it says. That they will be thorns in your sides and splinters in your eyes. That is where we are right now. They have been told, if you don't conquer them, they're going to bug you forever. And here they are going, I can't. Could not, did not, unable. Now, how does that relate to the lesson on the 25th? Because we were talking about how tired we get. And there are times when we just feel like we cannot. Whatever's put in front of us, we just cannot. I just cannot do it. I'm exhausted. I cannot. I'm unable to. Or we look and we think we did not. So what do we do? What do we do when we're in that place? I just put some F's here for us. Fix our gaze on the Lord and the things above. Force ourselves to remember what the Lord has done. Sometimes that's hard, and force sounds like a kind of a brutal word, but we do have to just make ourselves sit down and count the faithfulness of God, the goodness of God in our own lives, but in the lives of others. Look at the word. Fight for what we hope for but haven't seen, and focus on what God has promised to fulfill. Now, I'm not going to lie. These sound so cute, don't they? They all begin with F's. They have the same little cadence. Gosh, let's go put them in a book. They sound great. And they look cute on paper. they are much cuter on paper than they are easy to live out. This is the fighting part that I mentioned on the 25th. We have to work for it. We have to not settle for allowing the things of our past, the hurts and pains that are there that we haven't dealt with, that have grown roots. We have to take them out. Those are our enemies. We have to take them out. And that requires work. And it's exhausting. And we want to go, oh, never mind. I'll just pray more. Never mind. I'll just read my Bible more. Never mind. I'll just do more Bible study to help me get over it. It doesn't work, y'all. It doesn't work. Because they're just going to be thorns in our side and splinters in our eyes. We've got to get rid of them. And the only way to do that is diligence and dedication to God's word and allowing it to come to life and fruition in our hearts and in our lives, excuse me, through the act of obedience. That's the only way to do it. They could have had it all. They could have had everything without the enemy's interruptions and interference in their lives, but they just stopped. And a lot of the commentaries say it's just unbelief. They simply just didn't believe that they could do it. Like the original spies that went in. It's just too big, too much. This is too big. There's just too much. We can't do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And yes, I can. I'm talking to myself. So what do we have to say? What do I believe? Do I believe God? Not believe in him, but do I believe him? And when I look at my troubles, what do I see? Do I see giants? Or do I see what God has promised? The potential that is there of what God promised me. And I put some verses there for you to hang on to, for me to hang on to. Because it's there. It is ours. And we do have to work for it. But sometimes we don't feel like it. But we certainly can with God. Because nothing is impossible with him. And greater is he who is in us than he who is in this world. And he who is in us conquered this world. So can we. Take care. I'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.